Alright, lads. It's time to go. We got placebo and not connections. Not connections, what is it called? Correctness. There we go. My brain came online. I'm actually kind of upset. I don't think I like this game. Oh, what is that going on? Ew. Ew. And I'm gonna tell you why. Besides it being a somewhat cheaply, hastily made mobile game port, and those dialogue stuff, it has also failed to capture the imagination and wonderment of the silver case. Like, you had Kamui in the first one, and now Kamui is kind of a concept and no longer really a threat. Like, I don't know what I'm investigating. It always seems to be like fucking Monster of the Week kind of shit. Like, the last time we didn't even do any crime solving. It was just like Shiroyabu being chased by assassins and then turning bald for some reason. No doubt he's a mass pro as well, because of course everyone's a mass pro in one way or another. And like, I think Matchmaker is so far the most interesting of them all. Like, at least it has a sort of conventional story structure that doesn't require me to wait until the very fucking end. I'm just doing this because eventually I'll get an achievement for it. Anyway, like, yeah, I like Tokyo Morishima, but I'd love if he had something to do. Like, yeah, he's kind of got his own agenda, and apparently... Oh, I don't really remember. But yesterday, someone is actually trying to target and adjust Tokyo Morishima. Which, you know, should be fine. Tokyo's a badass bitch. One thing that really bugs me is that fucking Shiroyabu and Kuro are very much like non-characters to me at this point. Like, I thought that at least Kuro would be a lot more interesting. But she's just hot, and she has a mouth on her, and I can't give her a proper voice. Maybe if, you know, I had someone to read her for me, it would have been better, but... I don't know. It just feels off, right? You don't have standout characters like Kusabi and Sumio. Like even Nakatagawa, Morikawa. Like I can barely remember the names of the characters here. And the only ones I really remember are the ones from the Silver Case, i.e. Tokyo, and fucking Tsuki and Osato. Anyway, let's do chapter 3, Placebo. See where that takes us. You haven't read mail. Dead Zone, a space with no sound, a silent world meant to make people nervous. In psychological terminology, it is the mental state of achieving... Let me close my window. I hear noise. I think that'll be a lot better. In psychological terminology, it is the mental state of achieving a goal and then losing sight of the road ahead, accompanied by a sense of duty, giving up, and a sense of helplessness. Really? Place between life and death, which is where, supposedly, Shiro is. Now that he has acquired the skill of death filing. But either way, your true nature will be revealed, and you'll have no choice but to act. Really? But still, I can't believe that I'm capable of something like that. It's your calling. It's your fate. It's your destiny. Is it not an order? Unfortunately, it's not an order. I can't give that order. We don't know who these people were. No doubt it would be important to know, but... Stars of Koblenz. Probably another island nation or something. I'll go over this one more time, but this is a place for me to write about my dreams. This place is saved on an online storage mechanism. The text is open for third parties to read freely. Why am I even bothering to write something like this anyway? I can't think of a good reason now. It may simply be that writing something, anything, has just become a habit or a compulsion. Just like how when a person wakes up in the morning, brushing their teeth is a habit or compulsion. Habits and compulsions have stronger power than things with clear reasons. And with that, I'll continue to write about my dreams. The nightmare is set in the 25th ward. So many people have died. Accidents, murders, suicides, they all look different, but they're all the same in the end. The same types of deaths repeated. How many people have died? Not a single resident believes that the figures publicized were true or correct. On the other hand, there is no life. Nobody was born and raised the 25th. The place is a huge morgue. A morgue is where dead bodies are kept. Bodies would be put on display in order to identify those who had died in a war, of starvation, or of sickness. These places existed in the larger European cities long ago, and now the residents of the 25th Ward, even if technically alive, were no more than dead bodies. They're lined up nicely and in order on the borderline between life and death. They are lined up so that each and every one can wait patiently for their own turn to die. The residents were all gathered here. A pleasant living environment, an excellent location, all the latest cutting-edge facilities, etc. Bionic security systems and built-in kitchens and auto-reservation bedrooms. The buzzwords used by the PR firm were all true, but there were also things left unsaid. While the 25th Ward provided comfortable living, it also provided a whole lot of death as well. By the time this was noticed, the residents were already busy going to sleep and waking up there, working there, and living their lives there. Several days after the 10th death occurred in one of the apartments in those meaninglessly tall towers, a video showing the moment of death made its way around the internet. The people who viewed it apparently fell into depression, but not because it was a real video. Conversely, it was because the unrealistic-looking death looked like something from a movie, and it messed with their emotions and made them uneasy. A beautiful woman died on screen. I knew her. Bar Sumire. Is that the same bar? 24th Ward Area C4, yeah. But it was called Jackhammer. Whiskey. Is scotch okay? Anything is fine. Would I like that? And I'm gonna give you the most expensive one we got. Are you from around here? Not anymore. This place used to have a different name, right? So it used to be a regular, huh? It was called Jackhammer, wasn't it? Yeah, I bought this place with all the furnishings. Did you know the old master? A pervert. That's about all I can remember. Shit. Me too. You're funny. No, I really can't remember. There's no way you'd forget that memorable face though, right? Can I smoke here? There's an ashtray over there. Thanks. What's your name? Tokyo Morishima. Ah. Where did I put that? Rains of Porto Vecchio. I think it's Vecchio. Yeah, it has to be Vecchio. Vecchio. I don't know. The rain that had fallen for 3 days was about to end, and it was a cold, dim dawn. I was drinking tea and talking with her in my room. We had conversation like this pretty often. Back then, whenever we had the time, we'd talk. She hadn't slept a wink, but she didn't seem sleepy at all. She had told me before that she could go a whole night or two without sleep. To her, insomnia, migraines, and starving herself were like friends. But her beauty showed no signs of any sort of illness. There was a certain sense of class in the way she did things like drink tea, at the point where even I, a woman, always fell for her. Hey, Do you have any secrets? She asked me. She looked over at her teacup. She looked over me at over. She looked at me over her teacup. Secrets, I returned coyly, in a low voice. I knew that there was more to her query. Everyone has secrets. You should have some too. Stating things in a somewhat condescending manner was a habit of hers, especially when she was speaking to me. Having secrets, I thought about this a while. I imagined how I'd change if I had secrets. At the time, I hung on her every word, listened carefully, and was extremely interested. I don't like the 25th Ward. Our topics of conversation always changed quickly. Why are so many people dying? Because there are people killing them. That was my answer. Who's killing them? The Regional Adjustment Bureau. Where exactly did you hear that from? You know who. She had nothing to say, but you know who. Why do the Bureau agents kill the residents? For adjustment. That's just a different word for it. What do you mean? You're just using that term as another word for murder. Yeah, it's a more professional sounding term. Maybe they're trying to finish this systematically. Murder usually has a motive. It feels like we're in the same kind of suspense novel, I laughed. She didn't smile at the slightest. Even soldiers killing people in war have motive. It occurs when they see the enemy in front of them. And what about assassins? Hitmen who get contracted to kill people. They do too, of course. But the word motive is a bit different. Let's fix that. She stared at me with a serious look on her face and drank her tea without looking away. You know what sort of word that is? After asking me this, she went back to her commanding tone again. Think hard about it. I thought about it, and 1 second later I answered. Murderous intent. Satsui no Hado. As I said the words, she smiled briefly for the first time and slowly nodded her head. Sorry, I'm a bit slouched and goblin-y today. I might be for the entire week. I don't feel like doing much about it. You can understand. Yeah, this here. Turtle. It's a turtle. Yeah, turtle. What is this? The old master left this here. Said that if a guy named Tokyo Morishima shows up, then I should pass it on to him. I carved this. Huh? I remember there was some sort of trick. Trick to this? Yeah, probably the shell. Skies of Jeddah. I wonder what sort of feelings I must have had for her in the beginning. Maybe it was like how a little sister feels about her big sister. Back then I was still pretty immature and naive. We weren't actual sisters, and we weren't even friends or acquaintances either. I knew that, so our relationship had a sense of fabrication, or maybe something scripted about it. If this was about me and GOG, then I would be able to concretely say what sort of relationship we had. It was extremely simple, and clear and beautiful. A master-servant relationship. He was my master. Any order that GOG may have given me, I followed it to the letter no matter what. It wasn't a bad thing. For me, being controlled by him made me happy. Being ordered to do something, then having to fulfill that order was pure bliss. She was ordered by GOG to be in charge of my training. He told me, think of her as a big sister and learn a lot from her. So I did my best to follow her orders. And though that I was able to indirectly feel the same sort of pleasure, what was complicated was that I had one more little sister I didn't know if she was actually younger than me, but Joji told me to think of her as a younger sister and to get along. She acted much more like a real person than me. She was a stupid and foul-mouthed and sarcastic girl. My big sister was Milu, my little sister was Mira, and I was Mera. Apart from Milu, Joji gave us those names. I don't think three of us had ever all spoken together at the same time before. I have no memory of that. We may have once, but I can't remember it. Basically, both Mira and I were trained respectively by Milu, so with regard to Mira, I thought of her as a younger sister who had been brought up in a different place from me. I had a job that I was assigned. My job was talking with men in sex chat. Apparently this actually had educational purposes. I learned about the world through talking in sex chat. I became really familiar with male psychology and sex and sexual deviation. I became able to pretend like I was having sex for hours. What's important is the flow. Just as a sponge absorbs water, I absorbed all kinds of new things. I became able to read the flow of conversation better and better. Joji had told me before that I was in possession of a really amazing ability. My fucking radiator is acting so fucking up. And it's making so much fucking noise. And I can't do anything about it. And I don't want to read. As long as that noise is happening in the background. It infuriates me. Let's take a break. We're now under threat. I decided to stop. Chuji had told me before that I was in possession of a really amazing ability. It's really surprising. Not even Miru or Milu have that ability. Miru, I want you to try and read into my future. Well, I could read conversations. I couldn't read the future. So I told him that, but after that, I felt as if the real me was somewhere else. And I felt really uneasy, as though a small dark hole opened deep in my heart. I was afraid that GOG would disappear someday. The real me imagined that. It made my entire body shake with chills. The real me, that's right. I was a girl who was plugged in. The shell came off. There's something inside. What's this? You mean you put that in there yourself? Looks like it. What a weird present. Mail? The mail function is locked. Input your lock number. 4 digits. Ah, so it's locked. My birthday. What? I use my birthday for PIN codes. Wow, that's pretty dumb. But I don't know my birthday. What? It's way past simply dumb. There it goes again. All day. All day, every day. It just turns on and never stops. people are screaming downstairs. Fuck everything. Rocks of Adelaide. That's right. Since I was the girl who was plugged in, the real me never met Milo or Mira in person. I simply spoke to them through the monitor all the time. It's the same as how I would talk with the sex chat clients. The only communication I knew was done using a computer that was consistently connected to the internet. Miru was in a similar position to me, but I don't know whether or not she too was a girl who was plugged in. To me, it was something I don't need to know, as well as something I don't want to know. Feel like I should talk about the past more now. Oh yeah, I'll write about the first time I met GOG. The first time I met GOG, I was still the real me, with an actual physical body. But that physical body was bereft of emotion. Why don't you know your birthday? Because I don't remember. I'm having a mental fucking breakdown if you don't know what that looks like. Why don't you remember your birthday? Because I don't remember it. Do you have amnesia? I've never had much memory of when I was a kid. But recently I started realizing that I can't remember lots of other things either. How come? That sounds pretty bad. But sometimes I can remember things. Like what, for example? Like this bar, for one. Like this place? Yeah. I felt like if I came here, I might be able to remember more. I see. What a weird customer. Sorry. Do you have a license? Huh? If you check your license, it has your birthday written on it, right? Oh yeah, I guess so. Looks like I'm way smarter than you. My license is in my wallet. March 27th. St. Aries. Clouds of new mayor. Was born in the 24th ward and brought up. Just gonna turn up the volume on everything and hope that I don't hear it. And if I hear it even for a second, I'll probably have another one of these fucking breakdowns. I am particularly fucking easily provoked. That's what I wanted to say. Start from the fucking top. Was born in the 24th ward and brought up in a dark underground space called the shelter. Of the children raised in the shelter, I was part of the third generation. Up till then, the technology to create completely controllable people had been honed extensively and was implemented there. But there were also many people from the shelter who turned out to be less than perfect, and a few people who simply could not be deleted, for whatever reason. I was one of those ones that turned out less than perfect. This may make you picture a child who can't really keep up in school, but the reality of the situation was actually much more grim. Actually, I personally do not remember most of the things from my past in the shelter. Apparently, all of the shelter kids have the same problem with remembering their time in the shelter. It's not that our memories have been erased, but it just hurts to remember. So we can't. It was traumatic. It was GOG who taught me all of this. I first met GOG in a somewhat unseemly shop in the outskirts of the 24th ward. The place was known as a sale club. And every day I would stand behind the counter in front of various types of boys. I was basically one of the shop's products, meant for more perverted customers. Then one day, GOG showed up. And the very moment he saw me, he spoke to me. "You're a real girl, right? I'll buy you. So why don't you come along with me?" I have all sorts of terrible experiences with having terrible things done to me by the customers who would purchase me there. But at the time, I was completely numb to reality. There were times where I'd wake up in some strange bed in the morning, unable to move, and I'd find my lower body covered in blood and all sorts of filth. But I simply felt troubled that I couldn't move and have no memory of being shocked or traumatized by it. But there were some times where I'd get really nauseous in the shop's bathroom and would go into panic. When that would happen, the shop owner would give me a kind of medicine capsule. At night, like most of the other clients, GOG took me to a room in a love hotel, but it wasn't the usual cheap, dingy room. It was clearly a high-class VIP room, with a king-size double bed and a plasma TV, had a huge, clean bathroom, and the bathroom had 2 baths that seemed to be for separate things. Also, outside the huge floor-to-ceiling window with the lace curtains, there was a large wooden deck on a balcony, and installed in that deck was a big outdoor bath. Shuji removed my clothes and put me in the outdoor bath. It was still fully clothed, and he crouched down in the round, white bath and looked at me. At the time, my body was emaciated. My skin had an unhealthy bluish hue, and my bones were visible through my skin. Even though he was staring at my body like that, I didn't think anything of it. GOG had a head kindly in his hands. Held my head kindly in his hands. Fuck! I didn't think anything of it. GOG held my head kindly in his hands. And he spoke to me. When I said I would buy you, I didn't mean just for tonight. I paid for you to be released from that place. That night, GOG and I slept together in the king-size bed with clean, comfortable sheets. GOG didn't do anything rough with me at all. In fact, there was nothing of a sexual nature happening whatsoever. Furthermore, he treated me like an independent woman. GOG used one hand to pull a book out of his bag and opened it up. He stuck out his other arm for me to use as a pillow to rest my head on. GOG read aloud to me for a book written by an author named James Tiptree Jr. The book was called The Girl Who Was Plugged In. I was entranced by his voice. What? I guess it's wrong. How come? This license. Maybe it's a fake. You mean a forgery? Hey, you're not. Maybe. You seem like a dangerous guy. Sorry. Do you have anything besides your license? Just a credit card. But it doesn't have my birthday written on it. What about your credit card PIN code? PIN code? I think it's my birthday. But I don't remember even having used it, so I don't know. Jeez. Shit. Well then, how about... screw it. I'm gonna close up shop for today. How come? Nothing. Just kind of have a weak spot for dangerous guys. The Girl Who Was Plugged In was a short story about a girl, ugly, gross girl who tries to kill herself, is then plugged into the beautiful man-made Delphi, and is loved by everyone and acts as a sort of advertisement. GOG told me that we'd try something similar to this story. This proposal, as far as I was concerned, was an order. After all, GOG had bought my freedom for me, so no matter what he told me to do, it was my duty to follow his orders. Compared to Delphi and the girl who was plugged into her, the connection between myself and Meru, a simple recreation using computer graphics, was extremely low-tech. The job with which I was entrusted was to act as a sort of operator, making Meru speak and move, and show various expressions of emotions, etc. The digital Meru was made to look like Milu. Milu's expressions and movements were captured and recreated in order to make Meru. Sometimes responses to clients' comments were displayed in a list in a window, and this was basically a chat program used to support conversation. And this was made based on the conversational patterns of Quarter's #1 performer, Milu, to make sure that it would be a hit. Controlling the system of girls who were plugged in was not really as difficult as it may seem. In fact, as a shelter child, it was the perfect job for me. Finally, I made my debut at Quarter as a copy of Milu. It really was sort of my fate. Useless girls brought up in the shelter before becoming grown women were cut up and sold to rental shops for rich men to pick up. And before you know it, you're just a virtual woman hooked up to a computer. Until then, I didn't actually have any emotions. I had never cried nor laughed before. But as I chatted with countless men, I gradually started to get all of my emotions back. Actual physical sex and sex chats seem similar but are vastly different. The men type out these mysterious phrases. The melons are delicious, huh? Oh, the melons are twitching. Wow, they are so cute and delicious. Stuff like that flows across the monitor. I had no idea what melon was supposed to mean, so the chat program installed in my computer took too long to choose a response, and decided that those words made no sense, so I went ahead and randomly said, "Oh really? You like melon, huh?" And the guy on the other side got even more excited for some reason, so I guess it worked. Oh yeah, I love it. I really love it. I love it so much. Oh god, the melon is coming. Oh shit, the melon here it comes, melon! At that moment I laughed, just a little bit. The computer graphic mirror also smiled at that same exact moment. After teaching me about what kind of place the shelter was, what sort of things happened to me there, GOG watched over my rehabilitation. At the time, I was doing nothing but repeating the same basic live chat performance at Quarter over and over. But after a week, my skills had dramatically improved. Became able to completely and perfectly use the Go Who Was Plugged In system. Being a Go Who Was Plugged In was really fun. When a person kept doing something to find fun, they find fun. They get better and better at it. I think that Joji had a really good eye for talent. I was a genius at being plugged in. I gradually became able to keep up with the imaginations of all sorts of men in live chat. Mira can also speak out loud. As long as it was via the monitor, she could speak with clients using a mic and speakers. As for the subject used in chat, they covered everything from spiritual soundings, voodoo-like nonsense, to information on the latest cutting-edge gene splicing technology. I became able to talk about anything. I actually have no idea whether or not it was the correct way of rehabilitating me. Basically, I escaped from my own physical being fused with the virtual mirror, and followed the process to becoming a new, independent kind of identity. Here we go. What is this? This will help you figure it out. So what is it? It's an online skimmer. It skims the magnetic info strip on a credit card, accesses the appropriate server, and automatically hacks and finds the PIN code. Hey now, that's really something you got there. Some of the neighborhood thugs left it here. How do you use it? It's simple. Let me see your card. Here you go. Okay, here it goes. Transmission. What's that? I just like saying that. You enter in a 4-digit number, and if the number and position are correct, the hit light will glow. If only a number is correct, the blow light will glow. I see. So it doesn't automatically find out the number for you then. That'd be nice, but no. Okay, that's understandable. I'm guessing the 4. Yeah, I'm having a bad day, John. That's why. So 2 numbers are correct. It's the 2. Okay, so it's 02. But the 5 is the wrong place. 2 numbers are the wrong place. Okay. Darkness of Saint Peter. Georgie once told me that he was infatuated to the point of it almost being a sickness with the poor girls brought up in the shelter. I heard these words through the speakers on the monitor set up in my sparsely furnished room, connected to my desktop computer. I could see Georgie's face through the monitor, and he looked somewhat exhausted. So I went and looked into them, and as I came into contact with them, I found out that when provided with the opportunity to use it, the girls had immense talents that could be made to blossom. Sometimes, in order to do that, things would get dangerous, but that made it all the better for me. Does that mean you were drawn to them sexually? I questioned Georgie. The me in the monitor wasn't the real me, but Meru. I think so. I think that might be my own sexual perversion. Even if they are from the shelter, I don't feel the same way about men. The girl who was plugged in system tried to make Meru smile, but at that time I went against the system and expressed my own feelings. I sometimes felt like doing that. Does that mean that you love me? With that, Georgie somewhat mysteriously narrowed his eyes and stared at Meru on the monitor, but his mouth formed an ever so slight smile. Yes, that's right, Meru. I love you. I thought that if that was the case, then anything was okay. I had my physical body taken, but was given a heart in return. It was way better than before. For the first time in my life, I was aware that I was actually happy at the time. Also, I thought, Georgie was the only person who could treat me like a proper woman. Truly, the only one. June 25th, huh? So you're a Cancer. We might make a good match. Okay, now to see if I can read the mail or not. Soil of Dhaka. There was one man among my live chat clients who knew about all sorts of things, would share info with me. His name was Shoot. He knew that Miru and I were copies of Milu, and he seemed to know a lot about the strings of death in the tower high-rise. It happened one day after several weeks drinking tea and chatting with Milu until dawn. During one of our live chats, I asked Shoot a question that had been on my mind for a while. All the people who have died were killed because of really stupid reasons, right? Huh, well, yeah, pretty much. He answered my... What? He answered me matter-of-factly. I/Meru rested my chin on my hands, and I looked into the webcam and cutely tilted my head. So they were killed because of stupid reasons. Like, for example, throwing out trash on the wrong day, right? What about it? So at first, it was thought to be organized crime perpetrated by the apartment landlords, wasn't it? That's good, she replied with a smile. You're not exactly right, but you're not far off either. Your guess there sounds kinda ridiculous, but you're on the right track. It's funny. But it was actually done by people called the Regional Adjustment Bureau. Hey now, come on. That's dangerous. Never said that name, okay? I laughed. You're afraid of being adjusted yourself, right? Of course I am. He seemed a bit offended. That's fine. But what I don't understand is a more fundamental point. That is, what is the point of killing off all those people for such small and ridiculous reasons? Also, most of us residents don't even really think about it, you know? Do you really want to hear my opinion? Yeah, I do. Okay then. Everything I say from here on is just my imagination, but... Okay, tell me what you imagined then. Just as I thought Shoot had smiled, he immediately stopped smiling and coughed. And then he told me the following. The answer is murderous intent. Murderous intent? Basically, living in the 25th ward, you begin to want to kill people. Is that true? Yeah, it is. I don't really get it. What do you mean? If you live in the 25th ward, you should be feeling it too. I mean, if you're just a program, then I guess maybe you wouldn't feel it though. And try explaining it in a way that even a program could understand. Okay, I mean, it's basically just what it sounds like. For example, if a person next door throws out trash on the wrong day, then we get pissed off about that. Like really amazingly pissed off. Why? Because they didn't follow the rules. Shoot suddenly became really angry. There was a suspicious gleam in his eye. If it happened just once or twice, then I could understand. In fact, I could forgive it. But people can't just toss out their trash whenever they want every time. That kind of idiot should just die anyway, I think. But that's just, like, your opinion though, right? It's just my opinion, but a really strong one. In fact, I feel like, why the hell does the guy keep on living anyway? Because we all follow the rules in life. Garbage needs to be thrown out on the days set aside for that. Everyone works really hard in order to keep the rules going. But there's a day when you just can't take out the trash, and sometimes you buck up and live with stinky garbage for 3 days or so. Or try not to puke, you know. Nobody can just ignore those rules and live however they feel like it. That's how a society works, isn't it? So you don't just sort of think they should die. You feel murderous intent towards them. Yeah, that's right. At the 25th ward, getting annoyed or irritated or getting pissed off at someone always leads to that. But I mean, even so, I don't actually kill anyone though, you know? Then it isn't murderous intent, is it? It is, because one day when the neighbor who keeps fucking up the garbage ends up getting killed by someone, I'm like, oh, well, yeah, I guess someone protecting the 25th ward finally killed off that dickhead next door. I sure am grateful for that. Good job, thanks. And I feel more at ease. Like, I feel much better when that happens. I feel like I wish I could have seen the dead neighbor's body and stuff, too. More than the fear of me myself getting killed next. That catharsis is way, way bigger. It's a kind of catharsis. Fuck me. Oh. It's a kind of catharsis, yeah, to the point where you can feel the dopamine releasing in your brain. Then there's the game called Sudden Death. It's popular among the users at Quarter. Playing games like that to make it even more fun feels great. I keep saying the same thing, but it's all just my own imagination. And to be honest, I love the Regional Adjustment Bureau. It's an absolutely necessary organization. They take care of the dirty work for us. Those guys are the real public servants. Hey, I suddenly remembered something about Goddess. What is it? She's been throwing away combustible trash with non-combustible trash, like every time recently. Seriously? Seriously. She was keeping it a secret, but I know that she's been doing this whole time. Shoot opened his eyes as if he was suddenly shocked. Maru's eyes moistened up. The real me was getting really excited. As my body started shaking, I froze my gaze on the monitor. Displaying mail. Bingo. See? I'll check out this mail. Okay. Winds of Baku. Since starting to live as a girl who was plugged in, I, as in my previously separated body and mind, started to finally come together. But as Meru, well, as becoming a person who had emotions, was only when I was acting as Meru. Even so, it was so mysterious how my warm, heavy body actually didn't just rot away and die. Conversely, as I continued living like a hermit, I did keep myself healthy and full of nutrients. So I continued to gain weight. Maybe my physical body had finally started to develop properly. I don't know how old I am, but at the very least, it was clear to me that I had not yet reached my 20s. As my weight had become about twice what it once was, I started feeling differently about Milu. Just as Shoot had told me. The fact that she was mixing up her garbage got me so angry that I was no longer able to overlook it and forgave her for it. This is the sort of rule that everyone needs to follow. And it can't be broken. And it also annoyed me that she was Meru's original as well. Furthermore, the fact that she was getting so much love from GOG was becoming unbearable. And speaking to me, GOG was very kind, but there was always the sense that his mind was somewhere else as he spoke. And I could feel it. It was all because of her. I thought it would be funny if Milu were to be adjusted. I thought about what would happen afterwards. Milu should die too. Milu should die too. She may be a program, and if so, she should be deleted. If that were to happen, only Meru would be left of the three. A total victory. But I felt that was something different from murderous intent. It was a cooler emotion. Maybe it's because I'm different from the other people. It was something closer to curiosity, an interest in what would happen if Milu died. I wondered how she would die when it actually happened. According to what I heard, the RA Bureau used a strange weapon called a pin stick when carrying out their adjustments. Apparently, had a long, hard, sharp pin that would stick a person from the back of their neck, reach all the way to their heart. And I imagined it in detail, like a long, thin penis protruding from Milo's crotch. I imagined it in such detail that it actually sort of wanted to try drawing a picture of it. But the bad intentions that swelled up inside my heart never came into shape. And even then, I would meet with Milu via the monitor several times a week, drinking tea and coffee and sometimes alcohol, and talking with her. The way Milu spoke was the same way it had been before, to the point where you couldn't even tell she was the sort of person who would mix up their garbage like that. Apparently you've been making all sorts of predictions recently, huh? Milu asked me this while staring into the webcam, as if trying to see what sort of expression I had on my face, even though she knew that Meru is simply computer graphics. Just a little bit, I answered. It was the truth. I just talk about the random visions I happen to get sometimes. I wouldn't call them actual predictions. Did they turn out to be true? I don't know. Well, the clients like to make up those stories and make all sorts of comments about them, I guess. So they're not true then. I've never looked into it, so I don't know. With that, I gave Meru a somewhat troubled expression. I was unhappy to think that finally I was able to keep a secret from Milu. Shit. What's wrong? I shouldn't have shown you this mail. I feel like this isn't something I should be showing anyone. Sounds to me like you're getting careless. Yeah, you're right. Hey, about your special powers. Does anything come to mind? Yeah, but I don't want to talk about it. It's a bit late for that, isn't it? Come on, just tell me. Well, it's probably that I can talk to dead people. Dead people? People who have just recently died. Also maybe people who are about to die. Anyway, apparently I can communicate with people like that. I see. Yeah. You know, that's probably not dead people, but their residual thoughts. Huh? Really? You want some more whiskey? Oh, yeah. Okay. One more, I guess. I'll have one too. I was in Astana. Milu dies on a moonless night just before midnight. Turtle Guy appears and steals the password. Goddess looks up at the ceiling and suddenly stops breathing. The vision was amazingly clear, so I had just assumed that it was my own wishes and desires that I was imagining. As I was acting naughty with Shoot, I suddenly typed out those words, like it was some sort of automated writing program. But I just could not seem to figure out what the part about Turtle Guy appearing and stealing the password meant. Where did it come from? Did it mean anything? Had no idea. A turtle guy stealing a password. That sentence sounds like a joke. And what exactly was a turtle guy anyway? 3 days before the moonless night, hoping that Milu would somehow be killed, I contacted the Regional Adjustment Bureau anonymously. When I had that idea, I suddenly realized that all the people who had been adjusted so far were probably adjusted due to their residents reporting their habits too. Adjustment should be something that is contracted by the residents. Using a customer who would talk about how he was able to get his hands on anything via net auction, I obtained an illegal number for his cell phone, which the owner's info had been deleted. I used this to make an anonymous call to the RA Bureau. I used my very own actual physical body to make the call. It was actually the first time ever in my life that I would use my own voice to speak to someone over the phone. Maybe it was because of that, but I wasn't able to report her properly. As soon as they answered with hello, I suddenly froze up and had a ringing in my ears. My mind went blank and I couldn't think of anything. I knew I had to use words and speak aloud, but I couldn't. I was only able to make a strange sound with my mouth, and so I almost immediately just gave up and hung up the phone. It was completely different from Meru's constantly smooth and cool communication skills. When I wasn't plugged in, it was even more of a useless waste of meat than before. It was embarrassing. So I thought about what had happened. Now I was the one who most wanted to be able to believe Meru's predictions. I felt that Milu could only be killed on a moonless night. Of course, the normal, rational part of me thought that that was totally fine. If If that were to happen, then I would simply continue to live the same sort of life I had been living up to that point. But the part of me that wanted her dead just would not go away. The image of her staring up at the ceiling with her mouth wide open, looking like a fool stuck through. It was burned into my mind, and it wouldn't disappear. Residual thoughts. Oh yeah. I feel like I know that. I feel like I've been talking with them for a while now. Actually, I think maybe even now. Residual thoughts. Look. How the hell am I supposed to? Damn. Can't figure this out. The night of the new moon, the air was thick and chilly wind blew sometimes. That day I was unable to calm down from the time I got up in the morning. Then, when the sun had gone down and you could finally say it was night, I found out that Turtle Guy had appeared. Turtle Guy appeared on Miru's channel at quarter, came into chat asking for the password for Goddess. I received a mail from Miru explaining all of this. Her mails were always extremely businesslike and formal. The mail, entitled Suspicious User Report, had his handle, ID, and IP address, and the entire chat log was also attached to the mail as a text file. As I was reading the chat log, someone called for me by messenger. I clicked on it to see if it was Shoot, and he told me just then a stranger had called him at home and offered to give him info about Goddess. All of a sudden, Shoot was told to come to the clock tower in Area 7 of the tower high-rise in 10 minutes, but he didn't seem like he was going to go. He really hates meeting with people like me. He really rarely set foot outside of his own apartment in the tower. I assumed the person calling Shoot at his home phone. I assumed that the person calling Shoot at his home phone was Turtle Guy. I made a quick decision and asked Shoot to give me the number left in his incoming call history. I sent him a message saying, I can't get to the clock tower in 5 minutes, so I'll go and take a peek at this guy as a joke. I'll report later, and left my room. What are you thinking about? That mail? Yeah. You know, I'm a bit concerned. Concerned? About what? They say that when you feel like you're being careless, it's good to sharpen a knife. Huh? Really? Yeah. A guy I once dated was like that. There was a huge age difference, and you probably don't care, but... No. Tell me about it. It's nothing important. The proper way to sharpen a knife is actually pretty difficult. If you're interested, check it out online. You can find all sorts of ways to do it. Okay. Basically, the fact that it's difficult is sort of the point. It's hard to sharpen it properly, like for an amateur to give it a proper edge. But in order to get it sharp, you need to get a sharpening stone and just go to town with it. Apparently it helps chip away at whatever's bothering you too. I see. It probably sounds like bullshit coming from me, but I've tried it out, so I know what I'm talking about. Putting your all into sharpening a knife makes your senses get sharper too, slowly but surely. The unnecessary garbage disappears, and only what's important becomes visible. Sharpening a knife can do that for you. I met with Turtle Guy. I wasn't able to make a proper phone call, but I spoke with him directly about all sorts of things. I wasn't able to look him directly in the eyes, but I strangely didn't feel fear or uneasiness at all. I knew that he wanted to speak with Goddess, so I made a quick decision and put on an amazing act for him. I wondered if it worked for the Regional Adjustment Bureau. But then, actually, meeting him, I knew that it wasn't so. I knew because I could tell that he was the same type of person as me. I'm certain that he still doesn't fully understand himself just yet, but he was definitely brought up in the shelter. Something led him here. Almost like he was sleepwalking, like a lonely animal wandering through the forest, controlled by fate, like me. When I thought of it like this, I felt like something was squeezing down on my chest, some strong emotion. It'll fake me. Red. That's right. Sharpening up my mind. That's what I need to do right now. The me of the past. Ah. Fake. Why? But I made this. That's for certain. Oh yeah, I got a knife and What happened? Oh yeah. Okay. I shouldn't remember, but I also shouldn't forget. A warning. That was it. Where is this place? As I finished my meeting with Turtle Guy and went back to my room, began some preparations. I sent a message to Shoot, made him promise not to chat with Goddess at 11 p.m. Just as I had warned him before, Turtle Guy appeared and stole the password, which meant that the thing we spoke about previously was going to happen. Next, from my closet, I got out the pin stick gun I had procured for me by the same man who got the illegal cell phone. It was the real deal. It's some kind of origami attached. I was confident that I could play this through. Climb up behind the ceiling and stab Milu through the top of the head. The fact that I had imagined it in such thorough detail must have been because it was me who was meant to kill her like this. But did I really possess the murderous intent necessary? I felt like maybe I didn't. At the time, what I felt was a sense of calling. That murderous intent I had held on for so long until recently was nothing more than an opportunity. Gun and phone in hand, I stood up. It's all decayed into ruin. Everything. Oh yeah, her too. I go back to my room. The feeling of firing the pin stick is still buzzing in my hands. But I still don't down but I sit down in front of my computer like nothing happened. Then, just as always, I reach out to the same keyboard as usual with the same fingers. Talking to Turtle Guy was fun. I was able to talk to him several times that day. I called him again after Miru died too. Once Miru died, the entire flow changed. It was me who changed it. Got my hands dirty and changed it. I used the phone and the mail I sent from the cell phone to tell him about sudden death. I acted up a storm. It was so exciting. I wanted him to know that Meru could predict things. Soon GOG will disappear from before me. When that happens, it's you who will become involved with me next. That is why I really wanted to say to you, my very existence itself is like a gun with the same sort of pin-stick equipment to it. Once again, I sat down in front of my computer and prepared. Turtle Guy entered my channel 1/4. There was something very important I had to tell him. I had to tell him that this is the beginning. From nobody to nobody. No title. If you have opened and are reading this mail, then it's almost certain that the person reading this is me. I am writing this to myself with the belief. The me of the future has possibly lost several memories. Soon they will be coming for me. I had stayed on the run, but it's finally gone to the point where I can't run away any longer. If I get caught, they're going to mess with my head. So I decided to seal off some of my memories. I've been thinking about and preparing for this for some time. I decided to use hypnosis to bury certain memories way deep down. If I'm ever allowed my freedom again, then that must mean that I don't know anything, can't do anything, and I'm no longer either a threat nor a boon to them. What I mean is, that is you now. So I'm warning you, trying to forcibly retrieve those memories is dangerous. It will only bring you death. They are watching you. Don't ever forget that. At any rate, danger will come someday, so you need to be ready for it. Your enemy is not one single organization. You're going to need weapons. The super strong sort of weapon I wasn't able to hold on to. You're going to need to find her. She's looking for you, too. Her special ability should be helpful. And do not forget this, no matter what. The only one who can stand up against Kamui is Ayame. The flower that blooms. After I finished chatting, I wrote a mail to GLG. I thanked him for taking me in, even though I was void of normal emotions. For teaching me about the shelter, and more than anything else, for treating me like a woman, even while knowing that physically I was a man. Until I was given the existence of Meru, the person that my mind and body were always all messed up this way because I have gender identity disorder. My body is a man, my mind is a woman. I don't know if I was born with it or if it was due to my life in the shelter. The splitting of genders happened over several stages between the sperm fertilizing the egg and the birth of the child. Physical gender is set 8 weeks into embryonic development, and mentally, it happens between 5 and 8 months. When this process works out properly, the child's gender matches up both body and mind. So with gender identity disorder, some sort of trouble occurs during that process, and the gender, the body, and the mind split up. This is one possible theory. In fact, there are actually recorded cases of this happening. Anyway, precisely because my mind and body were all messed up, the girl who was plugged in system fit me. Mary and I were a perfect match. Although I'm a fake woman with the appearance of a woman, the clients as my audience, my communication with others as a woman, and having felt what it's like being treated like a woman, I was able to find out who I was supposed to be. When that happened, for some reason, my special abilities of a shelter child suddenly made themselves apparent. I sent the mail and took a deep, deep breath. I thought about the future, my calling, my fate, my destiny. That's very forward-thinking of Suda. But why did she have to be killed? And by my hand at that. It's because she was absolute evil. Because she didn't throw her trash away properly? No, of course not. She was the stereotypical embodiment of Kamui. Kamui? Then what about Ayame? Am I good then? That's not it either. I'm an Ayame believer, but I don't believe in good nor evil. It's just a standoff. If A is evil, then B is called good, that is all. I understand. So, the standoff itself is the problem. That's exactly right. Right in the center of the standoff is where he is. And so, because of that, yeah, that's why he gets killed.
The 25th floor.
Okay, so now we know that the murder from the first case was actually not the Regional Adjustment Bureau, but rather a shelter kid, possibly a Kamui Mass Pro clone. I don't know how they would treat gender dysphoria in the shelters. I wouldn't know. Alright. I'm gonna take another break. I know this took roughly 10-20-ish minutes more than it should have, considering that I was spiraling down at that point. Yeah, sorry about that. I think I've come to my senses at this point. We'll take another break. Let my voice just heal up a little bit. And we'll do correctness. That'll be that. 12 hours flat. Look at that. All right. See you in a moment. Let me close this for now. Because you can't actually mute it. Alright, sorry. It's been kind of half an hour. Sun is now set, so I'm less likely to light that short fuse of mine again. I just finished a thread where I was complaining about Autodesk and Adobe's new subscription model. Because you can't really see this, and I can't really show it to you. Apparently, Autodesk, creators of Maya and other productivity software, 3ds Max, that and that, has unveiled a new pay-as-you-go pricing system called Flex. Users will now be able to pay on a day-by-day basis by pre-purchasing online tokens. And these tokens, if not used, vanish after 12 months. And you can't use the software if you don't pay for it, which is because it's a service. God damn it. Fuck software companies, man. I know they have to make money, but apparently selling software just isn't enough at this point, isn't it? You have to sell the lifestyle as well. Oh. You're merely renting your livelihood from some other big fucking corporation. You're not allowed to wield the tools of your own trade. Alright, let's get back for another chapter. See how far we can get into it. The soundtrack kind of lulls you into a false sense of this game is gonna be fantastic. And it kind of isn't. I feel like I'm slowly seeing through the Suda51 formula. And I know that this game is not written by him, but I'm pretty sure that correctness is probably the weakest chapter in this game. I so fucking... Like, I used to love the attract mode, but now I just can't. Placebo. Did I tell you what I was complaining about? Yeah, I kinda did. Anyway, I really hate subscriptions, like in general, in real life. I find that my bank taking like €1 out of my account every month as like a maintenance fee when they actually probably don't have to do jack shit outside of just how's my money, which, you know, what an honor. I guess there is some idea of security along with it all, but God knows. I'm not making any fucking interest on that. So yeah, if you don't know this about me, I have never paid a fucking cent for software. I think the last piece of software that I paid for was Game Maker, and that's when it was down to like $1.50 on some humble bundle. Right. I honestly just don't bother. If it's subscription only, I don't give a shit. If I can get like a lifetime license for it, perfect. Right? That's why I use old versions of Adobe stuff. I use old versions of Premiere. I used old versions of Sony Vegas. Everything else I use is pretty much open source and free. I am living the Linux lifestyle on a fucking Windows machine, and it's fantastic. Software piracy is a way of life, and you're entitled to it when services that you want are not provided in the format that you want them. Alright, Chapter 4. Transmitter, Digital Man. This is no longer correctness, this is Transmitter. We're back in Silvercase one time. The 24 Wards, the Kanto Government Special Administrative Region, an independent state established in accordance with the capital's growing population. Residents are set into 5 categories, and the region was divided into 5 areas. Among the inhabitants, selected by public vote, 30% are poor and 20% are wealthy, creating an acclaimed stratum, acclimated stratum of 50%. Due to the history and development of the 24 wards, the conflict between the two classes has been all but wiped out. The number of violent crimes has dwindled, and the transmission of criminality has also effectively ended. A population of 200,000 people. Mayor Tsubaki enters his 7th term. Doubts are arising regarding the continued existence of the Metropolitan Police Department's Heinous Crimes Unit, an organization whose purpose is the immediate eradication of transmittable crimes. I want to lower it now because there's no risk of the fucking radiator bumping up again. There we go. From here on, it's the end of despair. I know. If something is troubling you, I'll listen. I don't like talking about my problems with people. You're not very nice, are you? Be quiet. No, don't order me around. Stay out of my way. Okay, then stay away from me. Without me, you can't go on. You want to go see the person you love, right? You can't go any further without beating Alice. Have to beat you? That's going pretty far for you, little prank. I feel now like it's a bit too low. Sorry that I'm messing with this, but... Welcoming and entertaining those who come here is my role. Just like that giant mouse character. Well, I'm not having any fun at all. Next is the multiple choice quiz. The scaling factor is going to skyrocket, and it's your chance to attack. Why the hell are you so hyped up? An angel, a demon, and a fish got into a fight. Who won? Well? Well then? Give me a hint. Okay. 50-50. But it's a 3-choice question. Oh, sorry. The correct answer was, they made up. Now it's time for your punishment. Act carelessly and you're gonna ruin yourself, Sumio. I know that. I'm not being careless. I've got reasons. I wonder. I don't agree. You're still looking for the exit. You may as well still be asleep. This is tedious. Let's stop dragging our feet. I'm worried about you. In my eyes, you look transparent. I can't eat you like that. Can't eat you like that now, can I? How am I supposed to eat you if you don't properly exist? I'm right here. I'll always be right here. I'm not going anywhere. I won't disappear. I always exist. Oh, okay. If that's the case, then that's fine. You may be able to face Kurumizawa. So you met with him, huh? He is a man prepared to do what he has to do. He is definitely a formidable opponent. Not even my death breath can work on him. Is he that strong? Regardless of whether it's external or internal, being tough is what's important for strength. Sumio, can you measure your own strength? An observer can't protect one who can't measure their own strength. An observer is one who is not observed. I'll make that understood. Great. You're really great, Sumio. Can't wait to eat you. I'm gonna eat you all the way down to the bone. A demon hides out at the end of the 25th ward. He was cautious of this place. He wouldn't let me enter. That is why Kurumizawa sold his despair. His payback was power. Power builds roads. I can feel Kurumizawa's pulse. His afterglow lingers all over this place. The wind enters my body. This was Kurumizawa's observation. When the observer is observed, they lose all their special privileges. They become conscious of the camera. He's totally screwing with us. He's making a statement. This girl looks real. Both Kurumizawa and the body are real. None of this was faked. Looks cartoonish. Is Kurumizawa not artificial? This is the real Kurumizawa. Do you know something I don't? No, it's just a feeling. Oh, like intuition? This isn't the sort of opponent you can go after with cold logic. The point of instinct in essence. That's where Kurumizawa waits. Yeah, that's pretty much it. There's nobody here. They're probably out on patrol. Let's go. Go where? The place where the body was dumped. The video was challenging us to see whether we could find the location or not. If they want to pick a fight, I'm in. I'll send the video off for analysis. I'll take it in. You find a free observer and get some info. Got it. Forensics. Lots of stuff here I don't want to have to remember. Most of the cases sent here are complicated and difficult. Forensics is where you go to get invisible messages decoded. Observation and deciphering. I wonder which one is more crucial. Are you Kodai from the HC unit? I was told you'd be coming. This is about a video, right? Can you analyze this? It's a weird image. You're underestimating us. We're the #1 forensics department in the country, you know? There's no data we can't analyze. How about you show me what you can do instead of just telling me? Done in 2 seconds. This is going to be simple. What? Look at this. Some sort of composite animation? No. This is actual video footage. Use any editing tool in the world and you won't be able to make a composite like this. The contours are synthesized amazingly. Light source angles are perfect. The quality of the air. No signs of compression whatsoever. This is the real thing. This is absolutely the real deal. We were able to pin down the location. From this particle structure, it can be inferred that this was shot along Route 20. Route 20. So that's where. Who would have thought that even the 24 wards had a downtown? No reaction. Nothing. No reaction. Footsteps. Walking slowly. Yes? Who is it? You Ken? Yeah, that's not right. Call me Ken the Psycho, aka Crazy Ken. Nice to meet you, miss. Who are you, by the way? I'm Agent Natsume of the 24 HC unit. HC unit? So you're crazy too, huh? So, you little miss, I'm the crazy police. I'd like to ask you something. I'll just take a bit of your time. Is that okay, Crazy Ken? Crazy Ken has no problem with this. Okay, in that case, get right to it. Do you know Kosuke Kurumizawa? No? Okay, thank you for your help. Have a nice day. Huh? You're leaving? Wait a sec. I lied. I was lying. Of course I know him. Everyone knows Kurumizawa. All the observers know him. Everyone's worried about being observed by him. I see. Have you ever come into contact with him before? I've never spoken with him, but I made eye contact with him once. What happened then? In that moment, I was ripped away from the world. From the world? What does that mean? It's not about meaning, it's about feeling. Felt like I'd become independent from my physical body. It was a message from Kurumizawa. I can't believe that. That's Kurumizawa. That's why people fear him. What changed? Oh shit. Just talking about it is bringing that sensation back. That just might be it for me. Crazy Ken is going out of business. Go on, little miss. Leave. Thank you. I can't see Kurumizawa. Coming back here brings back the sensation of being dripped in disinfected water. But, do you have to come here? You can just talk over the phone. You can't trust the phone. Can't see the other person's face. They don't want to meet you though, through sound. Want to feel your vibes. Uh-huh. Are you making a pass at me? No way. Damn. That could have made for a bad misunderstanding. Can we get down to the matter at hand? My partner has disappeared. What's his name? Shiriaba. He's only been with the HC unit for 2 years. Is he a good guy? He's pretty naive, but... Alright then, I'll help you out. Really? Yeah. Kisabi too? He's in the States. He'll be gone for a while. I've been really bored these days. There's no board in the 24 wards, right? The rate of violent crime in the 24 wards has plummeted. The city finally grew up. The crimes occurring here now are basically invisible cases. Crime with no physical body, with no tangible shape. The perpetrator we need to go after may no longer even be a person. Same as the one we're after. You can't see them. There's no trace of them. Kosuke Kurumizawa. Shiryabu went after him. I see. So, he was somewhere in the 25th Ward. How much do you know? Please don't play dumb. You've gotten prettier somehow. But damn, that perfume stinks. Trying too hard. I should chew your ass dead right here. What a foul-mouthed bastard. Well, you sure do suck as much as ever. But it smells good. Not bad at all. C'est Telander. Jerry Lawler. Never mind. Please, tell me about Kurumizawa. He's an observer. Get mixed up with him and you're dead. An observer? What's that? A human server. An exabyte-sized mass storage system. It only records dedicated observational data on residents. A type of extreme multi-purpose solution. A machine that uses the human body. By keeping all of the data in an independent body, the concept of security changes drastically. What's wrong? Please simplify it a bit. Observers are like enhanced humans. They're a whole different animal from regular people. Some sort of monster born in the 24 wards? Kamui's DNA became a virus and used the 24 wards as its playground, spreading itself all over the place. Kurumizawa is just a harbinger of things to come. So you mean Kamui's going to proliferate? He's already spreading. Kamui's become a thought. This is the spot. A perfect location for a bad guy's lair. Kurumizawa was conducting observations here. Chiriko, how do you always know these things? I'm an esper. It's not just intuition. It has the power of ESP. The word esper sounds nice and cheap. I can ESP anything. I can even ESP your fortune. I'll read your fortune at Starbucks. Let's go to Starbucks once the investigation is finished. Yeah, I want to go to Starbucks. Okay then. Let's hurry up and get our work done. He meditates here every day. All the waves are blocked off here so nothing impure gets mixed in. Kurumizawa made it so that he can stay clear. The right environment can maximize his potential. Maybe this is a place where he can separate himself from the world. Chiriko, can you use your ESP to figure out where he is? Let me try and ESP it. Strawberry, raspberry, cranberry. Blackberry, Juneberry, blueberry. Gooseberry, seaberry, mulberry. There's you. Chill out. Well, did you find something? Tried ESPing it, but I only got the No More Heroes channel. But can't explain it. The contents of this tape will clarify it. Really? I think so. Okay, so what tape? Inside here. Inside where? Inside this warehouse. Huh? It's more like a shipping container. Is this the tape? This is it. This isn't a tape though, is it? It's a tape. This is a dead body. Kurumizawa's body. But it's a tape. It's all recorded inside. This is kind of, I feel like I finally understand. This case really does feel dangerous. It's not dangerous. It's simple. It's super simple. Chiriko. To be honest, I'm pretty worried. But it's so simple. There it is. Look at it. 24th Precinct. This image is made of polygons, right? Nope. This is Kurumizawa. I do feel kind of stupid for not being able to understand this in the slightest. But at the same time, I also sort of feel like that's for the best. Can't figure out what I should think about this. It's not the same thing as a personality being buried deep at the bottom of an ocean of data. It's more like how there's a different world inside a mirror. Kurumizawa became a neighbor. A neighbor? You mean he lives next door? He's just a ball of consciousness. Consciousness? So he's a ghost? No. You can't think about it in such a fundamental way. It's like a cutout picture or like a coloring book. I have no idea what you're talking about. This makes absolutely no sense to me. He became able to cut out his own consciousness and synthesize it wherever he wants. Doink! So, this is a composite image then? No. He himself is a composite body. So this is the real Kurumizawa, doink. I see. I don't really get it, but I'll pretend I do and forget about this place for a moment. More importantly, why do you keep saying doink? I'm all out of Starbucks, doink. When I run out of Starbucks, my words get all funny, doink. Okay. How about we take a little break then, huh? There's no going back. What? There's the visible world and the invisible world. Transformation is necessary for the invisible world, so someone will have to fight. I have no idea what that means, but I'll ask anyway. Who has to fight whom? The 8th unit will fight an invisible opponent. A real war is coming. War? In this country? This will become a war zone. That landscape is all I can see with my ESP. Is, Kurumizawa somehow involved? Kurumizawa is just a harbinger. Huh? Someone else was the same just now. What? It's Sumio. Sumio came into alignment with Kurumizawa. So they're finally connected. There's definitely no going back now. Is this really the scene of the murder? If the analyst is correct, then this is the only residential area alongside Road 20. This is like a different world here. Something doesn't feel right. Powering through that brazenly and unscrupulously is a detective's job. So this is Area A? It looks like this apartment complex is divided into 4 areas. Kurumizawa is here somewhere. Yeah, we'll find him. Something doesn't feel right. What the fuck am I doing? Please don't make me go through 7 fucking floors. Why? Okay. Calm down. Start with room 1. This isn't it. Kurumizawa is nearby. You can tell? Somehow get that feeling. Looks like nobody's home. This is the most annoyed that I will ever get with this fucking video game. Why the fuck? Why would you do this? He said that nearby. Get on the elevator, 2nd floor. Check. Talk. Okay. I am having to resist. Just fucking... Did I... How... Having to resist opening a walkthrough. I have to pretend like the internet is down. Has to be at the 7th floor, right? He likes his high range shit. Why? What the fuck? I've been playing for 15 hours. I'm stuck on the fucking apartment. Don't fucking want to do this. What does that even mean, Sumyo? There's 7 fucking floors in 4 different fucking buildings. Do you realize what this means? Do you understand how many fucking permutations that is? Is Kuromizawa really here? He's close, but not here. Thank God. Yeah, but we're getting warmer. I feel like you know what I mean. Is... There's no talk. This apartment. The air feels so heavy here. No doubt about it. This is Kurumizawa's apartment. We need to be careful. Yeah. I'm getting that DS feeling. I think there's somebody out on the balcony. There can't be. He can't be hiding. Is this reality? This is retribution. The time for a purge has passed. No more dealing with pain. We have arrived. I can see the world of the dead from here. The graveyard of the observed. Don't just go on like that. What's your point? Kosuke Kurumizawa. I'm no longer on the same level as you. I can't descend to your level, and I can't have you stand in my side either. I can never identify with you, with any of you again. What have you broken down? According to your arbitrary interpretation, at least. This isn't my interpretation, this is my consensus. The consensus and the screams of the neighbors who lived through the darkness of the ages created the observer. That is me. What are you gonna observe now? Your life weight. I'm gonna measure your respective weights. Life weight. Agent Kodai, you aren't gonna go on about how people's lives are all equal value, are you? Kurumizawa. I know what you are, really. Actually, no. You're an existence without an actual substance. You just figured that out now? Yeah. You have no physical body. Kurumizawa, you have no form. Whether that's the case or not, it's meaningless. It's not meaningless. It's a crucial point. What can you see past your observations? Hallelujah. Dead men tell no tales. So this is where it started, and where it ended. We were summoned here, like Kurumizawa. Summoned? For what? I don't know. Did he use us? No. He just played with us. Or rather, we became his playmates. It's as simple as that. That sounds pretty immature. It's a sign that Kurumizawa is human. Coward who could only kill a mannequin. Can't comprehend any of this. Yeah, comprehend. It's just like magic. Kurumizawa's thoughts showed the mannequin as a dead human body. Can you believe it? I'm just trying to simplify the facts in front of my eyes. That's all I can do for now. That's all you need. We still have time before we fight. We need to know the threshold between facts and the truth. Tsume, prepare yourself. Learn how to survive. What do you mean? Just what do you plan to do? We have to end this whole thing. We still lack feeling and sense and sensitivity. To find the way out, we need to release the remitter. That's what has to be done. It's like you're somewhere far away. You're getting further and further. Sorry. My journey is not yet over. Continue on. The eternal journey like a daydream. All I need to do is drift. So, we finally meet. No way. Yes way. No. I've only been thinking about you. Lies. I never thought we'd meet again. Well, we did, right? My prayers have been answered. This is my role. That's why I'm meeting with you. Ayame. See you right in front of my eyes. Are you just an illusion? No. I'm really here. This moment is the moment of truth. I don't care. As long as this moment lasts just a bit longer. Not just a bit. Forever. Just like this. Then let's stop time. Go off to a world where time means nothing. Would you come with me? If you want me to. I don't need to prepare anything. Don't be stupid. It's impossible. It's just impossible. What do I need to do? What do I have to do to be able to touch you? Overcome the compression rate. Past that, I'm living on 40,000 yen rent. A life that's quiet, modest, where I want for nothing. Sumio, Can you sympathize? If I can be together with you, then I don't need anything else. There isn't a single damn thing I want. I'm waiting. I'll be waiting for you. Forever. But be careful. The compression rate is rhetoric. You understand, right? What Kuromizawa is? It's very simple, yet very complicated. It's very natural. Ayame, I'll keep running. Forever. Until I can touch you. Thank you. You keep going at it. I praise your mentality. But ugly pieces of shit need to disappear. You don't look like a human. You have the face of a dead man. Shut up and just die. I'll fucking kill you. So will I. I've been thinking about you all this time. Shut the fuck up and die. What a shame. I've been missing you so much. I could just kill you. And today, I finally can. Today's the 4th carnival. I'm gonna eat every last bit of your life. How about we settle this now? Quit blabbering like a little bitch and come at me. Huh? I understood. Kuromizawa, I figured it out. I can finally see you. That's a nice perspective. Can you make it here? No shit, I can make it there. Go for it, Chiriabo. Give it your all and take him down. Raise Kuromizawa's head on a pike. But Kamui can fuck off.
The 25th Lord.
Okay, that was interesting to say the least. Finally, we get to see who Sumio thinks is the love of his life, which is understandable to an extent. And, yeah. Shiriabi's gone now, I guess. He was on the brink of life and death, and now he's crossed over all the way. Maybe that's where he's gonna find Kuromizawa. Who knows? And Tokyo being able to speak to the recently dead might have a part to play in all of this. I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about this. Probably subsequent playthroughs will make this a lot easier, as it tended to do with the silver case as well. We'll see. Anyway, that's all for today. At least for now. I might come back later, as always. We had a rough start, but I think we came over it. I'll try not to have one of those episodes again. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed that. My voice is going away, so I should rest a little bit more. See you soon.